Okay, we must start.
Okay. So NirogStreet ऐप के लाइव सेशन में मैं नलिनी मिश्रा आप सभी का स्वागत करती हूँ। आज हम एक ऐसे टॉपिक के बारे में बातचीत करने वाले हैं जिसकी वजह से कई दूसरी बीमारियां हमें घेर लेती हैं। जी हाँ, हम बात कर रहे हैं लाइफस्टाइल डिसऑर्डर के बारे में। मोटापा, अनिद्रा, मधुमेह जैसी कई बीमारियों की बड़ी वजह हमारी खराब जीवन शैली ही है। आयुर्वेद में लाइफस्टाइल डिसऑर्डर के बारे में विस्तार से बताया गया है और इसी पर NirogStreet का यह वेबिनार केंद्रित रहेगा। आज के इस व्याख्यान में मुख्य वक्ता के रूप में हमारे साथ डॉक्टर प्रद्योत जी हैं, जो लाइफस्टाइल डिसऑर्डर और आयुर्वेदा पर अपने विचार रखेंगे। डॉक्टर प्रद्योत जी ने यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ कैलकाटा से आयुर्वेद में MD और कार चिकित्सा में PhD की डिग्री हासिल की है। उनके 35 से अधिक शोध पत्र इंटरनेशनल जर्नल में प्रकाशित हुए हैं और 50 से अधिक लेख राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर पत्र पत्रिकाओं में अब तक छपे हुए हैं। डॉक्टर प्रद्युत जी का मैं NirogStreet परिवार की तरफ से स्वागत करती हूं और उनसे आग्रह करती हूं कि आज के व्याख्यान की शुरुआत करें। सो सर।
नमस्ते सर। नमस्ते मैडम।
नमस्कार सर।
नमस्कार। Yes. Good evening, everybody. Are you comfortable in Bengali or English, madam?
English will be better, sir.
Okay, madam.
English and Hindi will be better.
Okay, thank you, madam. So, good evening, everybody. First, I like to down my head upon the feet of God of Ayurveda, Lord Dhanvantari. So, Namami Dhanvantari Radi Devo Sura Suri Vandita Pada Padmam Loke Jararu Hayumitunasam Dhata Ramisham Vividho Aushtadhinam. So, as I'm a scholar of Ayurveda, I must down my head upon the feet of Lord Dhanvantari. Today, I would also like to convey my hearty regards and also appreciation to the organizers, that is NirogStreet, especially Nandini ji, Anant ji, आप सब लोग को मेरा बहुत से बधाई है।
Thank you, sir.
Yes, this is the time for discussion regarding the lifestyle as well as Ayurveda. We know the lifestyle disorder. What is lifestyle disorder? Lifestyle disorder means the way of life. Lifestyle means the way of life. So there are different ways, like in different race, in different country, and in different localities, there are different ways of passing our days. So those ways of life may be called as lifestyles. Not only in human, there are different lifestyles of different things. So our local lifestyle, our national lifestyle, our lifestyle, human lifestyles, all are not specific one. These lifestyles may be changed or may be modulated in any time. But nowadays, what we are observing that so many diseases, that is communicable as well as non-communicable diseases. Communicable diseases, there are so many infectious diseases. These are also happening due to the lifestyle disorder. Like suppose there is dengue, there is malaria, there is other infectious diseases. These all are caused by the lifestyle problems. But non-communicable diseases, especially the arthritic problem, musculoskeletal problem, that is diabetes, that is different types of metabolic disorders, all are caused by lifestyle problems. So now this is the time to start everybody and to make an awareness about the lifestyles. As there is no such specific lifestyles, but in different area or in different nation, there are different type of lifestyles. There are social lifestyles, there are different lifestyles which are completely related to the economical problem, completely related to the geographical problem, completely related to the atmospheric problem, environmental problem. So we are habituated to those lifestyles which our environment permits, which our atmosphere permits, which our culture, climate and or culture permits. So, but these lifestyles may be healthy or not may be healthy, but those lifestyles we are regularly passing in our daily life. But how we could make a healthy lifestyle? This is the problem, because without a healthy lifestyle, we will suffer from different diseases that may be communicable, that may be non-communicable disease. Anything will come in front of us, or we will be suffer from those diseases if we don't perform a healthy lifestyle. In Charak Samhita, perhaps there are so many scholars here of Ayurveda, they know, because three things have been considered by our classic Charak, that Asatma Indriyartha Sanjog, Pragyaparat or Porinam. That means Kalo Buddhit Driyarthanam Oti Mitha Nochaticho Doya Srayanam Vedhinam Tividho Hetu Sangroh. But all the diseases are caused by Kal, Buddhi and Indriya, when there is excessive involvement or where there is male involvement, or there is less involvement. Suppose if we take more noise, there is sound pollution, then there will be some diseases. If we take more light by looking TV and etc., so there may be the visual problems. So when we are getting in contact of a object by our intellect or by our sense organs more or excessive, then there may be the disease. And where is less, then there may be the disease. Or where there is male, sometimes less, sometimes excess, then there may be the disease. So we have to consider those problems which we are going through the excessive use or in the less use or in the male use. We have to consider those, and we have to think about those etiological factors. Beside this, there is the Pragyaparat. We know the Dhi, Dhriti, Sriti, Vibhrashta, Karta, Jat, Kurute, Ashubham, Pragyaparado Vijaniyat, Sarvodoshu Pragapako. When we are beyond our Dhi, Dhriti, Sriti, etc., then we do some mistake. Always we do some mistake, and that mistakes are turns to different form of disease. And in different time, if we don't perform our duties, that is Purinam, in proper way, then that is Purinam Javadhi. That means that Purinam may cause disease. So suppose if we don't take the clothes in this winter, then there may be the cold and cough. If we don't wear take the umbrella in a rain, then there may be the disease. So the disease may come in these three forms: Asatma Indriyartha Sanjog, Pragyaparat and Parinam. So Ayurveda as deals with the prevention as well as cure, Sustasya Sastarakhanam and Aturasya Vikara Prasamananja. That means the health of to preserve health of a healthy person and to cure a diseased person. This is the ultimate aim of Ayurveda, as because Ayurveda consider with those things how we could modulate something, how we could give an advice regarding do's and don'ts of a person by which they will not suffer from the disease. In this regard, our classics have considered something that is Dino Chorja, Ratri Chorja, Ritu Chorja, Sodbritto, and Jog, Vyam, as well as Rasayan and Bajikaran. these have been prescribed by our classics as for prevention or promotion of health as well as cure of the disease. So by Dinocharya, what they wanted to mention that from sunrise to sunset, how we will pass the day by which the our state of health will be in a normal manner. And the from sunset sun to further sunrise, that is the Ratri Charja, how we could perform, then we will not fall in a disease. And Ritu Charja, that is seasonal. Some seasonal regimens should have to be followed by us, by which the disease will not come. And some Sadvitto, good social conduct. But suppose we have to obey our superiors, or we have to read some thing in attentively, then or we have to follow something in a rational manner. These are Sadvritto, the good social conduct we have to perform. And beside this, some Vyam, Ason, that is under yoga, this we could perform for a good health. So these are the measures have been mentioned by our classics to provide the good health. Suppose in present days we are in contact of so many things. There is the development of science adds, because we are every day we are doing something which is not rational at all. Suppose if we go through the excessive journey by bus or by the other vehicles, and then there is aggravation of batho. When we are in contact of fatty food or junk food or the fast food excessive, then there is so many digestive disorders may appear. If we don't go through the proper exercise, if we all the time we use some vehicle and we are in a resting phase, in a sedentary phase, then there some disease may come, like diabetes, like obesity, like dyslipidemia, like diseases will come. So these are related, completely related with the lifestyles. So as there is development of the science, and we are regularly in contact of, we are enjoying the blessings of science, but we are not, we are going far away from the nature. And when we are going far away from the nature, then so many problems are knocking at the door, or we are suffering from those problems. So in Ayurveda, there is personalized medicine, because as there are so many or several lifestyles in several nations, several areas, several localities, in several family, there are familial lifestyles or customs, there are local customs, etc. So there may be the several problems may come, but some healthy lifestyle which have been mentioned by our classics, we have to follow all the time. Otherwise, there is some disease, some communicable or non-communicable disease may come to us. By as example, if I take that an obese person, if he don't go through the exercise or he don't reduce his body weight, then there is rapidly increasing of this lipid factors, that is LDL, low density lipid, or VLDL, or there is excessive triglyceride or excessive cholesterol, which will lead to the heart disease. So sedentary lifestyle should have to be changed. So in development of science, we are using AC. There is no proper sweating, as because our strotas, our microchannels are become obstructed, and there so many diseases may come. So we have to use the AC in a controlled manner. in all the time, we will not use the air condition, etc. If we take fast food more, then there is chance of Vishomagni. And if there is Vishomagni, the irritable bowel syndrome like diseases or ABSs like diseases will come. So we should to be cautious about the fast food, about the junk food, about the fatty food, etc. So in lifestyle, in our lifestyle, in healthy lifestyle, everybody should have to maintain. Otherwise, anytime we could fall in the disease. In present era, what in other medical science, what they are telling, they are giving some medicines and they are thinking that organism is the cause of the disease and so kill the organism, treat the patient. It is impossible. So long we are enhancing our own potency or we are enhancing our immunity, we could not be free from the attack of the organisms. The attack the organism, we can't get a organism free world. So there are so many organisms are around us. So to fight against them, we have to enhance our immunity. As because Ayurveda has said about the prakritis, we have the nature of individual. Every individual has a separate nature, and they are finding different types of food, different types of drinks, or their likings are different. Someone is not so much habituated to take the spicy food, or someone are very much habituated to take spicy food. So we have to select the food as per their intent or which one is healthy to them. As because we believe in personalized medicine through the determination of prakriti. There are 7 prakritis as per our Ayurveda, that is Vatojo, Pittojo, Kophojo, or Dondojo, that means Vato Pittojo, Vato Sleshmojo, Pitto Sleshmojo, and Sannipatajo Prakriti. So we have to first determine what Prakriti he belongs, and the patient who is suppose Vato Prakriti, those who are Vata Prakriti, if they get some more exercise, or there is night awakeness, or Vyama, Apotarpanat, that means fasting, or they are in close contact of cold air, or excessive cold air, or excessive cold food, drinks, etc., then they will suffer more from the Vata diseases. So those patients, those who are Vata in nature, they should be avoided from Vyama, Apotarpanat, Bhanga, Khoya, Jagora, Veganancho Vidarana, that means suppression of natural urges, etc. And suppose someone is of seismic prakriti, in a little common cold, they will suffer from cough and cold. In little, there is little where there is that means the lacking means dehydration. The dehydration they could allow the mild dehydration or moderate dehydration, but Vata Prakriti people, they could not allow the moderate dehydration or little dehydration because they are rukho in nature, or they have the drava part of their body is very less. So as per their nature, we could prescribe something. So personalized medicine is very much needed. And in Ayurveda, there are 3 types of manasik prakriti, that means sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. If one is sattvic prakriti, then their food habits or their conduct or their food habit, conduct, and other customs, these are always very good, and they are healthy one. But in Rajasa Prakriti, they are very much accustomed with kotu, amlo, tikno, usno, etc. Types of food or habit. So habit which could enhance the Vato as Rajo Bohula Vayu, So the Rajasic Prakriti people, they should be given some other measures which we will give in a Sattvic Prakriti people, or which we will prescribe to Tamasa Prakriti people. We could not allow it into the Sattvic Prakriti or Rajasic Prakriti. So personalized medicine is very much indicated in Ayurveda, and regular in our general practice, we are observing those that the people belongs what type of Prakriti, and the medicines or diet or drug we choose as per their personal or individual characteristics. So as per lifestyle disorder, in lifestyle disorder, as the several groups of Vedic disorder, rheumatism, or neuromusculoskeletal disorders, which are usually found in our societies for the bad lifestyle. Suppose someone is suffering from lumbar spondylitis or cervical spondylitis or different types of arthritis, they will not be allowed to perform something which they are doing every day in their daily life. Like suppose if they are in excessive exercise, if they are in forward bending condition, if they are in jerking journey condition, if they are in excessive journey, or if they are in close contact to air or cold water, we should avoid those. This is neuromusculoskeletal disorder, that is Vata-Vyadhi, which are about 80 types in Ayurveda. Nanatmaja Vata-Vyadhi is 80 types. And those Nanatmaja Vata-Vyadhi is completely related to the lifestyle problems. Suppose the Pitic disease, if someone is taking kotu, that means excessive pungent, excessive sour, excessive hot, excessive sharp foods like the spicy food, etc., then they will suffer from some peptic ulcer syndrome or acid piercing disorders. So to protect them from the from such problems, that is acid piercing problem in Ayurveda, that is amlopitta, or in modern medicine, that is gastritis or hyperchlorohydric stage, or we could say amlopitta, etc. Then we have to avoid those food, those hot food, those excessive sour food, excessive pungent food, they should be avoided. Suppose the patient, those who are suffering from excessive suffering from diabetes, then we know in Ayurveda, especially they have given some advices like Assa soup, Sapno soup. Assa soup means they should not be taken more very palatable food and excessive amount. Sapno soup, they should not sleep too much, especially day sleep is totally avoided. Or dodhi, that means carbs should not be taken by them, or the byproduct of milk should not be taken by them, and the pious, etc. So these are the lifestyles related to food, related to works, related to customs should be avoided. So as maximum of the disease, that is Vedic disease, that is 80 types of Vedic disease, Pitic disease, at least 40 types of Pitic disease, and 20 types of Surismic disease. These Nanatmaja Vyadhi are totally related to the lifestyle. So if there is lifestyle disorder persists, and then never, if we don't correct the or rectify the lifestyles, this disease could not be could not be cured or could not be washed out from our society. So to keep our society healthy, to keep an individual healthy, we must have to follow those instructions which have been given by our classics in different mood. Suppose for Prameho, there is separate Patho and Apatho has been prescribed. In Pitic disease, that is in Amlopitta, there is separate diet or habits have been prescribed. In Bhatopathy, there is separate prescription, separate Patho and regarding Patho and Apatho. There are so many directions have been given by our classics. So in present days, as there are so many lifestyle disorders are in front of us or in contact of us, and gradually our social health is in a challenge. The individual health as well as the social health is in challenge. At that time, the excellence of Ayurveda is there to follow those Patho and Apatho, and to follow those Dinocharya, Ratricharya, Ritucharya, Sadvritto, and Achar Rasayan, etc., and yoga or asan, etc., should be followed. So it's my point of view, that is, we must have to follow the nature of the disease and the nature of the sufferings, and strength of the patient. If we see that there is less strength of the patient, then we have to choose the medicines in such a manner. If there is less Agnival power of digestion, or we could say the status of hydrochloric acid, what means whether there is hypochlorohydria or achlorohydria or hyperchlorohydria, we have to choose such type of medicines or such types of food or habits to them. And the Arugibol, Rogabol, Ognibol, and the intensity of the sufferings should be assessed, and accordingly we have to go through the directions, that may be through medicines or they may be through the diet, etc. So Patho, Apatho, Achar, everything is very much important in Ayurveda. And in present days, as there are so many infectious diseases are gradually attacking our civilizations, and just that is the COVID situation, when we have seen the first flow, then second flow, now it is in third flow. Gradually, those organisms are mutating themselves and coming in contact of us, and that is raising a great questions. So in this stage, our Ayurveda would play a great role, because we never believe in organism is the cause, and killing of organism is our main aim. We are giving maximum importance to enhance our physical capability, enhance our mental capability, and to enhance our immunity. So there are so many immunomodulation process in Ayurveda by introduction of food, that means diet, habit, as well as some achar, that means the yoga, vyayam, or means panchakarma, etc. We could think that there are morbid doshas in our body, and that is gradually accumulating in our bodies, and our microchannels are going to be blocked. So in that condition, we are taking the help of biopurification. And in Kerala and other state also, we have seen that so many people, they are getting admission in the hospital in 6 months interval or 1 year interval for their biopurification. That is either for Bomon, Birechon, Snehon, Sedon, and Basti, etc., to purify themselves. So it should be done, because the morbid doshas, they are gradually accumulating in our body and causing different types of disease. So for a good sotoshodhan, or for a good purification, and for a good health, we must have to go through those shodhan therapy. And beside this, the saman therapy, there are so many medicaments, like that is Kastushudhi, that means herbal origin, mineral origin, that is Rasushudhi, or herbo mineral that means the horse, as well as some mineral like sorno, rupo, tamro, tin, dasta, sisa, loha, like some minerals, and some other organic thing, that means suppose milk, that means urine, etc. We could use in our use as a medicaments in Ayurveda, and by the introduction of such medicaments, we could give we could provide the proper help, because our as per Ayurvedic concept, everything in the universe is made up of 5 basic elements, that is Khiti, of Tej, Murud, Bom, and the medicaments, that means the plants or minerals or herbomineral compound, all are panchabhutic in nature. So if there is any deficiency, then those deficiency may be fulfilled by those medicaments or those food, or some that is through drabya samanno and guna samanno. The properties of those foods or medicaments could specify the aggravation of opposite actions or opposite properties, that is by Vishesh gun. So we have the Samanno and Vishesh theory, and this Samanno and Vishesh theory, through this Samanno and Vishesh theory, we could treat the patient. If there is excessive fat, we will reduce the fat, we will reduce the fatty substance from their daily food. So we will say that don't take red meat, don't take fatty food, don't take ice cream, cold drinks, etc. So it is the assessment that whether we have to assess that what type of enhancement is there, or what type of what component is more there, then we have to reduce, and what type of component is less there, then we have to add. Suppose there is dehydration, we are telling that you take more water. And if there is roughness in the body, then we are giving some unctuous substance to make the harmony, and in between rukkota and snigdhota, we are providing snigdhota. So by our so many medicines, by our so many herbal, mineral and herbomineral compounds, we could arrest those diseases which is forming due to the reduction factors of different factors and enhancement factors, that is by through Vishesh therapy, and reduction factors through Samanno therapy. So in present era, as there are lot of maximum diseases are related to lifestyle, and lifestyle modification is very much needed. So the balance should be made. Suppose we have to, as there is the present era is the era of stress, strain, etc. So there will be the stress, but that stress should not go to the distress level. So we could prescribe the patient to go through the meditation. As there is more stress in his job, so he should perform the meditation, etc. If there is excessive journey, then we have to tell the patient that take some unctuous matter which will pacify the vato by Snigdha Guna. If there is excessive fat, we will advise them to reduce the fat by discarding the red meat, etc., the fatty food from their daily use. By such a way, as Ayurveda is totally conducting or concerned with the prasanna, atma, indriya and mano, not only the samudosh, samogni, samudhatu, etc., but prasanna, atma, indriya and mano. If someone is in a unpleasant state of soul or mind or sense organ, then there is also disease. So for providing a prasanna, atma, indriya, mano, or a pleasure or happiness, we must have to give importance to the mental factor or psychological factor. And as there is excessive stress and strain, so to reduce their stress and strain, we have to advise them the Sadbritto or Sadachar, as well as meditation, Jog, Vyam, Asan, etc. And for the physical, other physical problem, we have to prescribe some other medicines as well as some diet habit restriction of diet, restriction of some habit. That's for example, which I uttered earlier, that if there is excessive aggravation of Bato, then we have to say that take rest, no excessive exercise. We have to say, if there is gradual degeneration, then we will say that never go through the fasting. If there is excessive night awakeness, then there is aggravation of Bato. So we will say never go through such habit or such awakeness in night. So there are a lot of problems, and in this context, I would say the civilization is now in a great challenge. In this challenge, Ayurveda could play a great role, and the Ayurvedists, those who are practicing in different area, they could emphasize, they could go through the problems, and they could provide some do's and don'ts, that is advices, which will be beneficial to the patients of those area. And they could definitely, they could say, in this context, I could say, suppose a diabetes patient when come to us, then we will say what they will do, what they will not do. We will say, never take sweet, never take car, never take, never go through the sedentary lifestyle. You do some exercise, and if there is some medicine is needed, then we could say there are a lot of anti-diabetic herbs, just herbs we have, like Karela, like Methi, like Jambu, Amloki, Indrajab, Mesosringi, Guruchi. There are so many Haridra, there are so many herbal agents we have, and we could give them, we could prescribe them. But beside that, some do's and don'ts should have to be performed. Otherwise, that lifestyle problem, diabetes like lifestyle problem, never be solved. And in suppose in obesity, that means the Medoro, Stoloro, we must have to tell them that go through exercise, proper exercise, and avoid the sedentary lifestyle, and don't take the junk food, etc., from the market, and don't and you reduce it. Otherwise, in later stage, there may be the cardiac problems, there may be the nephrotic problems. There are so many problems may come. So as a complication. So for Otistolo, we have so many things to provide, to advise the patients. So there are Stolo could be avoided. In Bathopathy like cervical spondylitis, lumbar spondylitis, Sandhiva, that is osteoarthritis, even in rheumatoid arthritis, where there is autoimmune arthritis, then we have the very, very good medicines we could give, along with the purificatory therapy, etc. There is Boitoroni Bosti, there is Khar Bosti, etc. We could give for the treatment of Amobato, like that means rheumatoid arthritis, etc. And besides these other lifestyle hazards, like what I told earlier, that is acid pepsin disorders, that is hyperacidity, or there is metabolic disorders, that is fatty liver, etc. These are the regular occurrence in outpatient clinic. We are regularly facing the problem of fatty liver. We are regularly facing the problem of nephrotic, but that means CKD, chronic kidney disease, etc. So these are regularly coming, and these are definitely, these are for the lifestyle problems. So lifestyle modification is very much needed along with the other things. That means medicine could be given, but lifestyle modification must, which have been uttered by our classics from the very beginning, as because they have told like this: Kalo buddhindriyarthanam yogo vitthano chaticho daya srayanang vedhinang trividho hetu sangroho. So these, what to do and what not to do, what to take as food, what not to do, take as a food, what type of drinks we will take and what type of drinks we should not take, what thing to be taken in what season, that should be that is also mentioned in our classics. So Ayurveda could play great role against the lifestyle disorders, and for a good lifestyle, for a healthy society, for a healthy individual. There are so many guidelines. There are so many guidelines in our classics, and our Ayurvedists, those who are working in the farthest corner of our country, they would go through those advices, and they could provide those advices to their patients as do's and don'ts. Do's and don'ts, what to do by them and what not to do by them. In suppose in communicable diseases, suppose there is so many patients, they are regularly attending us. Oh, doctor, how we will be cured from the corona, if there is corona? Very simply, we are giving them the advice. Those who are just facing the fear of corona, we are giving some just tips. Then they could enhance their immunity only. That is Guruchi Khanaboti or Samsumani Boti, Giloy Shakta, etc. We are giving, and we are giving them that take the Amloki, Haridra, etc. Then they could enhance their immunity. Ashwagandha, they could enhance their immunity. If there is little bit mild sign and symptoms, they could take some medicines like the Ayush, which is very much popular now. There is Tulsi, there is Daruchini, etc. So they could take, and beside this Ayush, they could take some Lokhibilas like Tribhuvan Kirti, etc. If there is little cough, they could take the Sitapaladi, they could take the Lokhibilas, Sitapaladi, etc. If there is mild respiratory distress, they could take Saskuta Ross, etc. And Chavanpras we could use every day. We could take the nasally nasal use of Unutoido, etc. Then our upper respiratory passage will be cleared, and there will not be, because in third wave, what we are looking, third wave, there is maximum upper respiratory tract infection. So if we advise everyone to enhance their immunity, and beside this some Kaphanasho, Sleshmanasho medicines, then everyone is becoming free from corona. So in this condition, no need of antibiotics and others. So in this condition, just little lifestyle modification, and beside this, use of some other immunomodulator, which is frequently used by us, like Rasayan. That means Jajjara, Vedivis, Dhansi, Boyostombo Karang Totha, Chokusam, Bringanam, Visam, Vesajam Tot Rasayanam. So it is almost all diseases could be prevented. Almost all diseases could be prevented by the use of Rasayan, regular use of Rasayan. There may be the Achar Rasayan and the Rasayan, which we are taking as the medicines like Chavanpras, Brahmi Rasayan, Amloki Rasayan, etc. And beside that, the Achar Rasayan, that is good social conduct. Then you will be free from the stress, strain. Suppose in daily life, in office, if we quarrel all the time, then there will be the excessive strain. If we become free from the quarreling, free from the rat race, then the peace or harmony will come. So, as in Ayurveda, it has been told Ojo, that means the immunity, Ojo. The Ojo could be distracted or could be derailed by the viveti, from the fear. From fear. So if we suffer from fear psychosis, we will be less immune. So we should be very free from fear, and we could practice yoga, etc., by which our sense faculty will be strengthened, our mental faculty will be strengthened, as well as our other sense faculties will be strengthened, and we will be more immune. So this is the way of our thinking of our Ayurveda, and we believe in personalized medicine. We believe in the nature of individual and the nature of if we became able to assess the nature, then we could give the proper medicines or proper management. Because if someone is suffering from batik, which I told earlier, that which someone is suffering from is of batik prakriti, then they should go through the excessive vyam, etc., not more, because they are automatically more vata is there, so they will not be allowed no night awakeness, etc., or suppression of urges, etc. But someone is kapha prakriti, he could allow something, because there is they have the power of, or they have the tolerance, to some sort of tolerance to pacify vata by some actions. So like this, we could use our principle of management by Samanovisis therapy or Prakriti Samaveto, Vikriti Visama Samaveto, etc. theories we could use all the time. And we have a lot of herbs, minerals, herbal minerals compound. We have lot of Patho and Apatho, proposed Patho and Apatho by our classics. We could use all the time, by which we could be able to combat the lifestyle problems and all the ultimate aim of Ayurveda, that is Sustasya Sastrakhana and Aturasya Vikara Prasamanancha. These two aims could be fulfilled by the aid of Ayurveda. I think the participants, those who are here, they are almost maximum of them are Ayurvedists. They could understand my appeal, what I am telling, and I think those who are working in the furthest corner, they will go through such advices and they could be able to combat such lifestyle disorders by modifying the lifestyles, as well as by utilizing our Ayurvedic mode of treatment. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir, Pradyot sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, madam.
Hanji, thank you so much, sir. It was really a nice detail you have given us for the topic, and I'm sure हमारे सारे viewers को बहुत ही अच्छा लगा होगा सारा ये detail. So the last but not least, I would like to say, डॉक्टर प्रद्युत जी, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. उन्होंने आयुर्वेद के नजरिए से लाइफस्टाइल डिसऑर्डर के बारे में बेहतरीन तरीके से बताया. आपका बहुत बहुत आभार. लाइव सेशन के दौरान आए हुए सभी वैद्यगणों को भी धन्यवाद. निरोग स्ट्रीट पर आयुर्वेद के ज्ञान का आदान प्रदान का यह सिलसिला आगे भी चलता रहेगा. जल्द ही मिलते हैं एक नए विषय और एक नए वक्ता के साथ. तब तक निरोग स्ट्रीट के साथ बने रहें. थैंक यू सो मच एंड थैंक यू सो मच प्रद्युत सर, हमारे साथ जुड़े रहने के लिए.